Welcome everyone to Fresh Lava Productions. I am Brian, as you should well be aware by now. Returning subscribers, thank you so much for coming back to see me again. If you're new to the channel, welcome. And my mission here is to entertain, and so that's what we're going to do, because who wouldn't find this guy with two thumbs right here entertaining? Anyway, I'm trying to get away from talking about myself so much, but I'm so awesome. It's proving to be a challenging task. Anyhow, like I said, if you are new to the channel, welcome. I hope you find me entertaining and that you will support me and my channel by giving me a like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment in the comment sections below. And that's it. In addition to my general readings, I do free personal readings. I do accept donations, but I do not charge for these services because I feel icky, grimy. Something about charging for tarot readings doesn't feel right to me. Buddy agrees. And so that's why I don't do it. I mean, I'm happy that some of you are kind enough to send donations. If I touch your heart, if I make you smile, if I make you laugh, if I improve your human experience in any way, and you are so inclined, my PayPal and Cash App information are in the description box below. That being said, I don't like to talk about money, so we're going to move on. This is a general reading for the zodiac sign of Gemini. And I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I love me some Geminis. Fine people, salts of the earth. I had such a good time doing this, and I've been so depressed over the past couple of months that even setting out to do things that I love has been a challenge. But I'm sure the rest of you have been there as well. Special shout out to some wonderful Geminis, Megan, and also newly acquired associate of mine, Big Daddy Kane. Let me just tell the rest of you guys out there, if you're fortunate enough to work with somebody and they are in a position of authority over you, it's one thing to manage people, it's another thing to lead people. And I just want to say, we haven't known each other very long, but Kane, who gets a special super duper shout out for my Gemini video, is a very strong leader. And I just want to say, buddy, it's easy to follow with a leader like you. So, who am I? I'm trying to get a list going of all the different signs that I know so I can give a shout out to everybody, but in these instances, I say the ones that I can remember, and then we'll get back to the rest of y'all. I'm all inclusive, baby. Also, super duper special shout out to myself, of course, Moon and Gemini. If you aren't really familiar with astrology, Gemini is it's an exciting sign because the Geminis have a thirst for knowledge, I would say, like no other. Like, I would tell you that Leo's passion and love and creativity is unmatched. I would tell you the same thing about Gemini and their thirst for knowledge. Kane would actually probably tell you different as far as he is concerned, but if you're new to astrology, again, and I keep prefacing that, there are 24 aspects to your personality, and that's just the beginning. You have your sun, moon, rising, Venus, Mercury, Jupiter, Saturn are all in their own constellation based on the time of day you were born, the date on which you were born, the state or coordinates on the globe to which you were born, of which you were, it doesn't matter. And so while your sun sign may be one thing, your moon definitely matters. Oh, The Milano fell over. Guardians of the Galaxy fans, anybody? Your sun sign has a lot to do with your personality, but also your moon sign does. Also your rising sign does, and it's a fascinating study, astrotheology. It's actually, and please do your own research. I don't encourage anybody to accept what I say as fact, because I believe what I believe based off of my experiences, based off of my acquired knowledge, and so I'm just sharing with you, you know, what's coming through. Where was I? Yeah, so once you get into astrology, if you care to, I always found it fascinating long before I knew how gifted I was. You'll begin to connect dots, kind of like constellations. My sun sign is technically Leo, but actually I'm a Leo Virgo cusp. And cusps, different people will argue. My understanding is that a cusper is born 5 days before the change in sign and 5 days after. So those 10 days, those are cuspers. Now, I'm a Leo, yes, but I was born on August 22nd at 1:43 in the afternoon, which pretty much made my first 24 hours half Leo, half Virgo. I am the Leo Virgo cusp of exposure, baby. Believe that. Excuse me. I think that's one of the reasons this is so fun for me, is because I constantly get opportunities to talk about me. Anyhow, my moon is in Gemini, which has a tremendous impact on my personality as well. My rising sign is Scorpio, the sign of transformation, has a tremendous impact on my personality. My Mercury is in Virgo, how I communicate. My Venus, how I love, is in Libra. I have 6 Libras in my chart. I have all kinds of things going on, and each and every one of you out there, I would encourage you to visit cafeastrology.com and just have a look at your own. They have free natal charts. If you can give them as much information as you can. You don't necessarily need to know the time of day that you were born, but it helps to be more precise. If you put in your birthday, your name, where you were born, it will give you a free report that will kind of tell you, you know, you're most likely like this in this area because your sun is in Leo. You're most likely like this in this area because your moon is in Gemini. And if you read something that doesn't apply to you, it connects to the other aspects as well to make you, every one of us here, every one of you is a unique being. And so, yeah, your natal chart basically is supposed to be as close as it can be. The position of the stars and the planets at the moment that you took your first breath here in this sometimes bullshit ass existence that we're having to live in this human experience. But overall, it's going to end up being rewarding for all of us. Now, I am prone to get off on tangents and forget what I was talking about to begin with, because not only do I take detours, but my detours take detours. If you're somebody that's very physically fit, like Terry Crews, for example, his muscles have muscles. Well, my detours have detours, and sometimes I get off so branched out into different things that I want to tie all back in together, that I completely derail and never get back to the original point that I was going to make until I watch the video myself later on. So, if you're a returning subscriber, I'm assuming you find that to be amusing or cute, or there's something about it that, you know, at least makes you laugh or makes you smile, because after all, I am gifted. There are important messages that come through my readings, but my number one mission is to help you to elevate your own vibration. So if I can make you smile, if I can make you happy, if I can make you laugh, that is a job well done for me as far as I'm concerned. So we've laid your foundation stones, Geminis, and we're going to move on to your heart stones and see what your heart is throbbing over. See what your heart is being damaged by, see what your heart is loving. Yeah, good cut. Yeah, there you go. All right, so next up is your Mind Stones. Generally, in my readings of my own tarot layout, these are going to be things referring to things that are on your mind, things that are hurting your mind, things that are making your mind sing, if you will, if you may. Took a little shot at Seven Bomar there. More often than not, they come out as things that you're worried about, but they don't have to be, and every reading is its own unique event. So, we're going to see what's on your mind, Geminis. And we'll go ahead and cap off your pyramid with your capstone from the Archangel Raphael Healing Oracle deck. This is Buddy, if you haven't met him already from previous videos. He's special. And I don't mean special like I'm special because I'm super duper special, but he's special like mentally he's a little slow. He's neurotic. He's been through a lot. You know, when I was in the biz of vet medicine, you would hear doctors say that, you know, cats are having these problems because of stress. A lot of them, like urinary problems, stress is the result. A lot of our own problems, health problems in particular, come from stress because of the hormones and enzymes that get released into your system, and that's what causes illness. But anyway, I digress. The thought was always like, what does a cat have to be stressed out about? Well, if you're a Looney Tune like Buddy here, everything that's outside of your projected normal routine can be stressful. So, animals feel stress very much the same as we do, and maybe just the fact that they feel stress, but they feel stress in a very much different way, than we do. All right, Gemini, your pyramid is built. Let's see what we got to work with here. Whew. Fire, fire, fire. Air, it's you showing up. Oh boy. We always have the capstone for last because no matter how crappy your reading might turn out to be, we always end things on a positive note here at Fresh Level Productions. Give me a moment to scan your pyramid and see what we got going on here. I'm seeing what I would deem to be a lot of fire energy for a Gemini reading. So your foundation is the Ace of Fire, the Five of Fire, and the Page of Fire, and the Eight of Air. The Eight of Air is a little bit more your speed. Now, your center heartstone, your main heartstone, your heart chakra stone, is the Ace of Swords. I'm not sure once you get past Major Arcana which Minor Arcana cards pertain to what sign specifically. I'm still in my learning process, but Gemini is an air sign. It's hard. It's hard to say which air sign is the most intellectual because they are all hyper intellectual in their own ways. But the Ace of Swords feels pretty spot on for Geminis. All the Geminis that I've known in my life have been very intelligent beings. We're going to get back to that. I'm going to look at the rest of your cards here and see if I'm getting an overall feeling. Some of you are worried about either the loss of money or that you're not fulfilling your potential to earn what you could be earning based on your intellect, since that's right next to there. So your heart stones are the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, the Ace of Swords, and the Princess of Cups. We're going to get back to the Princess of Cups. Court cards typically represent people in your life. Your Mind stones, the Moon card, Justice front and center, and the Ace of Wands. So you've got 3 aces pretty much drawing a diagonal line through your pyramid there. Now, your foundation stones are the Angel Tarot, which is a tarot deck that's more or less designed to look like an oracle deck. So I'm going to go ahead and read your messages at the bottom, and then we'll move up from there. An exciting new opportunity, career advancement, change your life now. Change is something that I think comes easier to Geminis than, I won't say all other signs, but some other signs for sure. The 5 of Fire, competing goals, bothersome details, conflict with others. And so we'll get back to that. Page of Fire, outgoing, creative, confident, mischievous, if you will, if you may. News of an exciting new endeavor, use your originality and integrity. The 8 of Air, an illusion of being trapped, a lack of self-confidence, afraid to take action. Like I said, above that, your heart is the Ace of Pentacles reversed, the Ace of Swords, and the Princess of Cups. Your Mind stones, the Moon, Justice, and the Ace of Wands. So although, well, I won't even, I'm going to do away with the preambles. What I'm seeing here, the number 5 is a number of change in numerology. The Page of Fire, the page, just like the Princess, is a court card, so it represents somebody in your life. Or it could represent you, even though fire doesn't match air energy. Like I said earlier, you have so many different aspects to your personality that you may not be aware of if you're new to astrology. But up the center of your reading, you have change and passion and creativity, but you also have someone, which may be you, which may be somebody that you know, and the note is an exciting new endeavor. So something's changing here. There's a direction that you're going in that's going to be much more fruitful, and you won't have to worry about the Ace of Pentacles reversed anymore. But that kind of makes its own little miniature pyramid going right up to your Heartstone, which is the Ace of Swords. Geminis have an incredible capacity for communication. Like I was saying, I believe generally they have a thirst for knowledge. So the Bible says that he who increases knowledge increases power. The more you know, remember that old, was it ABC or NBC, the star that came across, the more you know. Knowing is half the battle, G.I. Joe fans. And so the change in creativity may be related to somebody that you know is being crowned by the most powerful force that there is, which is mind. All is mind, all is self. And just above that, in the middle of your mind, is justice. I get the feeling that some of you have really been going through a tough time. I'm getting, in the past few years, I hope this reading isn't just for me because my moon's in Gemini, but you're heading towards justice and balance because of your intellect and your creativity, is what I'm seeing. Now, a lot of you, maybe not all of you, because Geminis are so out there into so many different things and they like to learn so much generally, that money isn't a problem for a lot of Geminis that I know. Myself excluded. But on your heart, you're either worried about the loss of money or you're worried about a lack of financial necessary, what am I trying to say here? A lot of you are worried about a lack in general of finances. And the moon card just above that, the moon card is normally, at least in my readings, talking about a time of illumination, things that have been hidden. And being that it's in your mind stones, I think it's really more or less your own intellect, your own mind that has been blocking your path. Now, you have the Ace of Wands over here on the other side of the Justice card, your third mind stone. The Ace of Wands, just like the Ace of Swords, it's the pinnacle of power in that area. Fire is talking about creativity, passion, energy, drive, motivation. Some of you know that you need to kick on your motivation so that you can reveal things to yourself through your mind and get your balance, because balance is, it's the apex, it's the top of the mountain. That's where you want to be, balance. A lot of stuff you have to go through on the way, unfortunately, for a lot of us. On your heart, the Princess of Cups, this could be a person in your life, usually somebody that's younger than you, could be a significant other, guy or girl, depending on which one you are and how you like to get down. No judgment here. But cups of water, energy, emotion, and some of you have lost somebody very special to you, and that's the thing about our readings. They go in so many different directions and have so many different things because they're for so many different people. Some of you guys have felt trapped by separation from someone that you had a great deal of love for, and you're trying to be creative to get them back. While a lot of people would tell you just do you and make sure you love yourself first, there's nothing wrong with loving somebody. And if you experience a tremendous amount of pain for having lost them, that kind of proves the love that you have for them. If you went through a difficult situation and you can look past all of the things that were done to you and all of the pain and loss that you suffered and still love that person, that more than anything else in my book, folks, is an indicator of true love and unconditional love, which is the only true love that there is. Overall, Geminis, what I'm getting here is your foundation. It's got 8 unicorns, and they're slowly running their way through the forest, but they have a lot of perceived obstacles in their way, plant life and trees blocking the path. But it's just an illusion of being trapped. A lack of self-confidence, afraid to take action. Geminis are kind of scatterbrained, so it makes perfect sense to me that there might be a hesitation on what decision you need to make next because you have so many different possibilities that you're exploring. Try and narrow your focus down to priorities, and whichever one has the most importance and pull at this moment. Knock that out, go on to the next one, knock that out. Nobody's saying you can't do all the things you want to do. Just take it one at a time, slow down. Try to slow down that Gemini brain. I know it's easier said than done. But I'm being told, don't feel trapped, because some of you, and I'm right in there, feel like you're stuck in place. Gemini is air energy. Air doesn't get stuck. It takes an awful lot to trap air somewhere. It will find its way out from every hole, and it's the lightest and most movable element that there is. A lot of fire in this reading. I mean, 4 out of 11 cards were fire energy. I'm going to kind of bring it to a close now, but what I'm getting is if you go into your mind, meditate, do some breathing exercises, connect with your inner self, your higher self, whatever you want to call that being, which is you. Just, if you're not whole, then you're kind of in pieces, and we're trying to get ourselves together and be balanced. Use your creativity to reveal things to yourself. To thine own self be true. And then justice and balance is coming to you. It's all moving that way to justice. And it's led by your mental abilities with the Ace of Swords, your intellect, for the most part. Well, I don't want to say that. I don't want to piss off any of their signs, but I'm just telling you what I know about Geminis. Your intellect is your ace. That's your ace in the hole. That's your sword. That's your weapon. Swords, words. But your mind and those things related to your mind. Your thoughts are so very important, people. Your thoughts are so very important. Thoughts are prayers. Be careful what you're thinking, because you are creating your own reality. And I'm feeling like that's pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and wrap it up and reveal your capstone. Detoxification. Dear Archangel Raphael, thank you for cleaning up my body, mind, and life so that I may happily and healthfully live free of chemicals. Doesn't necessarily have to be talking about drugs or alcohol or cigarettes. Could also be talking about all the things that you know that are not good for your body. 1 Corinthians 6:19 talks about your temple being dirty and therefore you can't reach your potential. I'm not quoting it directly there, and somebody will correct me on that I know, I'm sure. However, detoxification, eating Little Debbie snacks. They might be delicious for the time being, but all that white granulated sugar is not good for your planetary system inside your body, your own universe. Sodas, for the most part, canned, boxed, processed things will actually, and there's plenty of evidence out there. Please go and do your own research. A lot of the things that are processed and less natural as far as food is concerned do calcify your pineal gland, therefore not shutting off, but greatly hindering your psychic abilities. They come from your third eye, your pineal gland. And I'm going to read from the book here, Detoxification. That can also refer to, and does, detoxifying your mind. If you're watching Jerry Springer and porn and reality shows with the Kardashians and all these things that are not good for your mental health, that also is something that needs to be detoxified. Mind, body, spirit. Detoxify your trinity. You drew this card because your body or the body of the person for whom you're inquiring is highly sensitive to chemicals. Archangel Raphael is recommending a detoxification which he will oversee and help you with. This could mean changing to an organic and natural diet that's devoid of preservatives, sugar, and other chemicals. This card may also represent an avoidance of recreational substances such as alcohol, drugs, caffeine, sugar, or nicotine. In some cases, the angels could be steering you away from environmental irritants at your home or workplace. The first chemical or substance that comes to mind is an indication